But go ahead, Whitney.
Well, you didn't play,
first,
Stephen A.
and then I'll try. Exactly.
You didn't play.
I didn't comprehend. I'm sorry.
You don't understand athletic mortality.
I love what I love about you two guys.
Yes,
right here.
because we didn't
never played the game.
There's a recurring theme when it comes to sports media. Professional athletes telling us we don't know ball. Our opinion will always hold less weight or no weight at all compared to theirs. And they have a point. JJ is right. Stephen A. Smith didn't play professional basketball. JJ is also right about an athlete's and specifically LeBron's athletic mortality. There are certain aspects of professional sports that fans and non-professional athletes will never understand. They can diagnose information we can't see on TV.
The best jersey grabber in the league.
Jersey grabber.
Offensive jersey grabber.
He finally took away his bad habit. He had a bad habit of doing three top dribbles that was like stiff back. And then he go into the dribble cross, but he didn't realize you're going 3 and then you're going 2.
This kind of specialized information isn't something the average fan would understand. If you understand it, congrats, you aren't the average fan. But what about when professional athletes in demonstrative fashion tell us we're wrong, but fail to be right themselves? D'Angelo Williams has a unique perspective on football. He should. He played 11 years in the NFL and has over 8,000 rushing yards. He understands the physical toll a game has on the body, what it takes to get ready to play a football game week to week, the hours of game planning and watching film, treatment, how to be a professional in a locker room. That doesn't leave him immune from getting predictions wrong.
All the people that are picking New England by 3, that Tom Brady's going to go in there with the wide receivers that couldn't get open against the Miami Dolphins. With all the weapons that the Steelers have and the defensive woes that New England have, you're going to pick them by 3? To you or anybody on this panel to say that New England's going to beat Pittsburgh? College football at a D3 school. No. You can spit out everything that you see, but what you can't spit out is feel. And that's what I can do.
Those numbers and what they're saying about those guys, those coaches, those players, it's relevant.
D'Angelo Williams has played as many snaps at quarterback as you and I have. He played running back during his NFL career. He doesn't directly know what it's like to throw for 300 yards, play cornerback, or coach a head football team in the NFL. So while he has a unique perspective on football, it's a limited one. Should he be disbarred the same way some professional athletes say fans should be from talking about something he has no direct understanding of? The likely counter argument, I'm sure, will be that he can talk to former players, his former teammates, current players in the NFL in order to make his judgments, but so too can the fans. Fans communicate with former and active players on social media all the time. On TikTok, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. There is literally a sports podcast for everything nowadays. Not to mention, if you want to get into the weeds yourself, you can get the NFL's All 22. You didn't play the game professionally, you don't get an opinion. Is essentially saying you should listen to a professional athlete by default. Instead of being dismissive of the fans and analysts who are essential to the success of your league, stop withholding knowledge of your sport. Grow the game by explaining why. It's one of the reasons I love NFL Live. They do goof around a little bit, make some jokes here and there.
On offense, they're more like the Temptations, and somebody defensively needs to walk up to Zach Wilson and say, ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis.
But they still provide in-depth insight so the viewers watching can grow their understanding of the game. When they make a prediction, we understand the process of how they got there. Rather than hearing, I picked them just because, and you should believe me because I'm a professional athlete. They aren't always going to be right in their predictions. That's just the nature of this business. If it was easy, every single retired athlete with their infinite knowledge would hop on a plane, fly to Vegas, drop their entire life savings on a surefire 1,000-leg parlay. So by the end of the year, they would have more wealth than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk combined. The media space needs a collective of opinions. Former professional athletes, current professional athletes, non-professional athletes. Those who have never played the game provide takes in a way most fans can comprehend the game. And fans' comprehension of the game is what matters most. It doesn't matter how much you know if other people can't understand what you're saying. Every time a professional athlete says, you didn't play professionally, it reminds me of this all-time great quote.
What I say is true. Anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great.
Most of us on first watch of Ratatouille believe this to mean any person in the world has the ability to be a great chef. By movie's end, we realize, and it's explicitly stated,
not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere.
My first introduction to Mina Kimes was several years ago when she was on my favorite ESPN show at the time, Highly Questionable. I had no idea who she was, and I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan at first. As a viewer, I continued to give her a chance despite her not winning me over right away. And I'm glad I did because she's now one of my favorite TV analysts. Despite her success and her commitment to being evidence-driven in her takes, and quite funny I might add.
Big face in the morning.
Here comes a bad joke. Let's see what lands here. She can't get it out.
Is big face in the morning what you used to say when you were single?
She still has to regularly defend herself against the dumb "you didn't play" argument. Mina Kimes embodies a chef can come from anywhere. She isn't your run-of-the-mill person. She was obviously talented and a hard worker before she ever worked on anything sports related. Her co-workers, former NFL players, can't stop singing her praises anytime her ability is questioned. They sing her praises even when she isn't being questioned. You know a person is extremely good at what they do when others will voluntarily start praising you without any prompting. If you haven't done something professionally, former professional athletes say that those people's opinions shouldn't hold weight in that space, but they branch out from their space without any prior former training all the time. Kobe Bryant never went to film school. Does that invalidate Dear Basketball? Should you dismiss any advice he has given on the art of storytelling? Rich Paul never went to college. Does that mean that if he offered you advice on being a great agent, you wouldn't listen? JJ Redick not only didn't have any podcasting experience or formal training before starting podcasting, but he also didn't even know if he would be good at it. He worked at it to get better. And if JJ Redick were to offer you podcasting advice, you should definitely take it. Professional athletes need to stop with the tired "you didn't play so you don't get an opinion" narrative. If someone's wrong, tell them that. Explain why they're wrong. Don't just cop out and say you didn't play professionally, so there's no way you could ever understand. There are people out there that absolutely can understand the game at a high level, having not played professionally. The sports media world is a tough business, but Mina Kimes has further opened the door. She doesn't just open the door for women. She doesn't just open the door for Asians in this space. She opens the door for every single person who has never played the game at a professional level. Every person who talks about professional sports isn't going to be successful, but Mina Kimes has helped to give us all a chance to be an analyst that comes from anywhere. And it might just be you. Thank you for your time.